in District 15, possible shots fired at 5901 Pine Island Road at Stillman Douglas High School.
Are you at the school?
Hello guys, welcome to the final exam. This is a school shooting experience. I don't know, when I say experience, I made it sound like it's like a roller coaster or something. It's basically a school shooting game. It's short, I think it's like 10 minutes long. You basically have to escape a school shooting in a school environment, which is a school shooting, which is why it's called a final exam. The final exam. The reviews are mixed, if I can recall. When I got this a few weeks ago, I think this was free. I'm not really too sure. The reviews were mixed. I don't know why. What was the reason why the reviews were mixed? But they were like saying like I think it was too unrealistic or something like that. I don't know. But let's start a new game here. I understand. It's AI. I understand. I understand now. That was AI. That was AI, and also the story was very short. Oh my god. I'm on the loading menu and it's already starting. What the heck? Jesus, these sounds are horrifying. I feel like it's too abrupt. Like we're just going in there. It feels like a Call of Duty mission. Like we're just like going into the game. I feel like there should have been like a little story, and the AI kind of ruins it because every time I go on TikTok, it always like AI and artists should not be using the same concept or shouldn't be using the same resource material, and AI sucks. You should always make sure you use your own art and never use the internet or the AI thing. I feel like there should have been lore. There should have been like pictures and then some writing. I think that would have built in the story. You know, whenever there's a school shooting, you know, locker room, that's like the first thing you can hide in, stuff like that. And you see a whiteboard that says movement and quick time events, arrow keys, E to interact, and mouse to look around. This would always be here. I just find that really funny. Any game, not just this one, it's any game that has like that's meant for computer. It's always the rules is either on a whiteboard or just a sign that says the controls. That'd be so fun. Just like that one video in the Markiplier just said, just imagine going into the woods and you see press shift to run. Just out there. That's what reminded me of that. Just find it so funny. Low. Damn, the showers are nice. Hey, you're wasting water. You guys shut it off. Oh. Oh wait, crawl your way out. I don't like that at all. It should have just been a crawl button. I feel like that's just too much coding, just wasting. There's too much coding you just wasted. Home of the Wolves. Damn. You could tell it's like really immersive because everything's just on the ground. Backpacks are left, books are left. Just like they all care about their life. Damn. Shit, look at these kids. This is definitely not AI generated. I don't have anything against that when creators are using AI generated like say just something small like pictures or something. But I know there's a lot of people who are really like against it. I'm just one of those people who are just like use AI generated content if it's for like SpongeBob with the Ninja Turtles or Homer Simpson hanging out with Freddy Fazbear crew, stuff like that. Zara Kane, class of 17. Wait, what? Zara Kane, class of 17, captain's woman. I can't read that fast. Varsity basketball all-state team. I can't read that fast. Lead vocalist, school jazz assembly. What's the woman's name? Zara Kane. Is she even here? Yeah, like I mean, I don't mind if you use that, but like there's obviously a limit to. Oh, here I see. Is that our friend or something? There's obviously a limit to like what you should use for AI generated content. Like, don't just claim like, hey, I made this. I'm gonna patent this. I'm gonna put copyrighted stuff like that. Like, don't use that. I do feel like this is really awful. Damn. 2 minutes. Hide from the shooter. Uh, damn. Can I hide here? Or is there like an actual shooters coming this way? There has to be a button, right? Like, can we hide here? Oh yeah, okay. Control your breath and don't alert the shooter. Oh, it's like what's that game called? Dawn, Until Dawn. I think that's the game. This guy, that guy's not controlling his breath. I mean, obviously, I'm criticizing this a lot, but like, if I was the shooter, I 100% would have noticed that kind of breathing, or just anyone in general, not just the shooter alone. But I feel like you would notice the breathing. Damn, he's fucking fast. He's pretty tall too. He looks like a 20-year-old. I like how there's quick time events. I like that. It keeps you on your toes. That's the one thing I have to say that's pretty good about this game. Background checks for all gun sales. The law requires background checks from all gun sales, preventing anyone deemed high risk from buying a gun. Oh, little fun fact. Hide from the shooter. Again? Tie your sweater in a door handle to barricade a door. Oh, hell yeah. There should have been like a difficulty mode where like all the buttons are random and it's like really fast because your character is like panicking. Gun bill collected. Ban of high caliber magazines. A ban on high caliber magazines limits their purchases. Are purchased. States with this ban had 50% fewer mass shootings. Where's your source, huh? Where's your source? Ooh. I can't think of eating right now. Okay. Chess. Checkmate, I guess. The door is locked. This way? Oh, okay. The door is locked. Okay. Okay. I 100% would have died by now. Not gonna lie. The amount of noise I'm making. Is this the cafeteria or what is this? What is this room? Anyone here? Oh, is that the map of school shootings? I knew it. Why is it on the East Coast? I like, who owns like a gun in New York? I mean, it's New York City, obviously, but okay. Put more chairs. Books. 26 killed. 2016, 5 killed, 46 injured. 2017, 8 killed, 32 injured. I guess we'd be part of the statistics now. That's insane to say. That's actually insane to say. That's crazy. Imagine thinking about that when you're like experiencing the school shooting. Well, looks like we're gonna be part of the statistics online. We're gonna lower those numbers. Gun bill collected. A ban of assault weapons. The assault weapon ban stops military-style weapons from being sold to the public. When this ban was placed in 1994, 2004, it was credited with preventing 11 mass shootings. I mean, you can make an argument like, okay, I mean, assault rifles, to my knowledge, is with it's like a high caliber weapon. It can carry high calibers, but you can also modify a pistol into carrying high modified caliber weaponry, ammunitions. Anything shooting now should be banned, realistically speaking. But of course, there's a lot of people gonna oppose that, realistically speaking, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, they really need to do background checks. I mean, I think America's like one of the top manufacturing weaponry in the world. So of course, there's gonna a lot of companies who want to oppose that, and because profit, duh. Search for. Goddamn! Goddamn! They're having a shootout with the cops. Oh my god! Why are we crawling under while they're shooting? God, that's a lot of bullets. What the is he carrying? An LMG? Oh my god. Oh, we stand up right after the bullets stop shooting? That's not a great idea. Raise the minimum age to purchase. The bill aims to raise the minimum age for purchasing any firearm to 21 because young adults aged 18 to 20 are the most vulnerable to gun violence. I like to say that's not true. I think anyone is vulnerable to gun violence depending on what environment they were raised in or the background of the set character. I feel like raising it to 21 only prevents it from. I mean, just literally, you can literally buy an illegal firearm. I mean, like, oh. Me, come on. I mean, there's people selling illegal firearms, so I don't think raising the age is gonna prevent it by that much. Okay, where is he? Damn, he's short. I'll stay for a minute or two. There's a note on the door. Safe storage, Ethan's law. Secure storage laws require gun owners to lock up their firearms to keep children from accessing them. Studies show that properly locked guns reduce the risk of unintentional injuries by 85%. I believe in that one, yeah. Isn't that like a common sense to lock up your firearms? Run for your life. Rush to the exit. Oh, hell no. Oh! I played Temple one. Kobe. American students fight to survive school shootings every year. The source: The Washington Post. These 5 bills are the only way out. Nah, not really. There's a lot of things that contribute to this topic. Let's write for a chance at the final exam.us. There's so many things that contribute trying to go against firearms. Like there's always a lot of arguments to be said. There's always arguments saying like it's always the parents' fault for not either for not locking up their guns, or it's the school's fault for not trying to contribute to fighting against bullies in scenarios, because mainly it's kids fighting other kids, and schools just don't step in. That's the main contributing factor to shootings. It's always the bullies get away with it, or they don't get punished enough to the point where it affects them and their life. It doesn't affect their life because it's just like maybe it goes down to the parents, and the school let the parents know, and the parents don't do anything about it. That also contributes the school shootings. Or it's either the background of that said child is either the family life is not good for them, or which also contributes them from getting bullied, or if they go up against the bullies, they get punished more, and the bullies don't get punished at all. It's always the factor that always goes with that. There's a lot. If we oppose the law, there's gonna be people like gangs who are gonna buy a firearm illegally and hand it to one of them by selling it. There's a lot of factors to come into play. Like when trying to contribute against school shootings, like contribute against trying to sell high caliber firearms. The war on Mexico, for example, like cartels, you know where they get their guns? Mainly from the US. So there's always a business for that. So they can literally, if you want to try to ban high caliber weapons, first of all, there's going to be civilians who actually own high caliber firearms. They're going to oppose it, and they're going to make arguments about it. There's companies who actually sell a lot of firearms, manufacture the firearms. They're gonna negotiate with the politicians and say like, hey, let's try to find a loophole. Of course, if companies are involved, you already know you're screwed, because they have either money, mainly it's money, the power, and people. The 3 factors: money, power, and the people behind it. They have powerful people basically. And once a company is literally saying, hey, let's make this law have a little loophole, okay? Just keep it me and you, because not everyone knows the laws around here. So there's a lot of factors that come into play. Also, I actually want to read I want to read the reviews on this game, because I know there's a lot of mixed reviews when it comes to play with this one. There's a lot of factors that come into play that not everyone thinks about. And kind of boring. Obstacles makes no sense. Any human could get through them, but of course this dumb kid can't even step higher than walking height. Now make one where you play as the shooter is insane. 8 people find this review helpful. 3 people found this review funny. That's actually insane. If you want an anti-gun propaganda, this game is for you. This game sucks ass. Do not play. Pew pew. I don't get why there's so much hate on this game. For a free to play, it's good. It's not goofy or it's not goaty, but it do the job. Great message. I do agree with the message. I'm not against it. I always play both sides, both parties basically. I see both views. I'm not like a hypocrite. I don't like go stick with one view, but I see both parties basically. There's gonna be loopholes if a company or there's a manufacturer that gets involved with the law, if there are making of the law. There's always loopholes. Like I think an example, like taxes for example. There's always loopholes around it, even though it's not like the rich. I know guns and taxes are not like the same thing, but there's like I'm using the loophole for example. There's a loophole or there's a way to go around it. There's tax deduction. Yeah, see, 16,800 per child. So if you make a lot of money. Like a dependent, yeah. If you have you can put a dependent in your tax files, and then you could literally get, you can even get a tax refund. You don't have to pay anything. You get a refund. You get paid if you file your taxes, and you have like let's say a lot of dependents pay a lot of taxes. You can minimize your tax payment. I'm not a tax expert, but like that's one of the ways. There's so many factors that come into play when you actually try to trying to get a gun law to pass. It's really possible. Whoever game there's no blood test. Jesus Christ, horrible game. The quality is horrible. Animations, graphics, mechanics, storytelling, etc. There's no blood, no dead bodies. When we die, our screen just turns red and it shows us some fact that no one really cares about. Like the same happened to Blank of children in the Blank shooting. No one is playing this for the message. That's actually insane. Holy cow. There's a lot of loopholes. There's a lot of companies that come into play. There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of reasons why. Not a lot of people think about this. I'm actually surprised when I talk to people about certain topics. It's like, oh, it shouldn't be that hard. This also comes to, I don't really want to get political here. This channel is not really about getting really political, but you could donate. There's even limits to donating to a political to a political party. Which is really sad because there's a limit, and as if you go to here, there's like gas companies, there's gun manufacturers, there's like bigger corporations donating to certain politicians. I don't really want to, because I don't really trust any of these, to be honest, especially when it comes to like a political campaign. Like everything is everything is so left and right wing. I hate it so much. I really don't like it. Like I just want a straight news source where it's in the middle. Let's go. Let's do Mike Johnson. Retired, Israel, raised 19 million. Yeah, contributors. Total. Look, see how there's so Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin 63,000. That's actually hilarious. I think the limit is 10,000 per each contributor. Whoa, Mike Johnson. He is up the bar. Holy cow, 19 million. Damn, that number went up. See for donations, you see how all these big national groups, all these affiliations and these companies, see how they're like donating so much? Because the more they donate, the more likely that politician will, let's say, kick the bucket on the law or something. I know it's a member of Congress. I don't think it's, but you understand what I'm trying to say. There's so many factors that come into play when you're trying to get gun laws. You got to make sure that the party that's winning isn't representative. You gotta make sure it's a Democrat, and you gotta make sure it's you gotta make sure they oppose gun laws, and make sure there's not you gotta make sure there's not enough representatives within the House. You gotta make sure it's mainly Democrats, and then that's how you get the gun law bill passed and anything. There's so many factors that come into play. I'm sorry for talking so long. It's basically like that. There's so many factors that come into play. It goes really deep. I know there's some YouTubers who probably did a really good job of researching. This is basic data. Like you can see, for one example, there's people here who will see that there's a certain company that donated a lot. They will try to make a loophole or try to make at least minimize the opposing bill or law that's going to get passed, so it doesn't hurt the company that much. There's so many factors that come into play. Not a lot of people really see that or talk about that much, but of course, we the people, we can try to make an argument. We can try to fight it back. We can. It is possible. I'm not saying like, oh, these companies are, this one company is gonna strike us down. We can't do it because he donated millions of dollars in total. But no, we can do it.